Blog Talk Radio.
Oh my God. Hello.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Huberman. Thank you for coming on the line. We really appreciate you.
No worries. Sounds like you guys are figuring out some systems over there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just some minor difficulties with Block Talk Network, but I wanted to make sure that I got into your actual bio because you've done such great work and you've won a lot of great awards. And I wanted to make sure that the Block Talk Radio Network, which is home to millions of podcast listeners on its own, as well as the other networks we're on, to really get a feel of you. You are the founder and CEO of Hawke Media, which is the fastest growing marketing consultancy in the United States. It was launched in 2014, and Hawke Media has been valued at $75 million and has grown from 7 to over 150 employees in 3 locations: Los Angeles, New York, and Boston. The company has serviced over 2,000 brands of all sizes, ranging from startups like Tamara Mellon, SiO Beauty and Bottlekeeper, to household names like Red Bull, Verizon Wireless, and Alibaba. Hawke Media has taken home numerous industry awards, including inclusion on the Inc. 5000 2020 list of the fastest growing companies, Fortune magazine's 50 best workplaces in Southern California, and Huberman was named the International Business Awards Entrepreneur of the Year in the field of advertising, marketing, and public relations. As a serial entrepreneur and marketing expert, Huberman is sought-after thought leader in the world of digital marketing, entrepreneurship, sales, and business. And prior to Hawke, he founded and grew and sold 2 successful e-commerce companies. Huberman is the recipient of numerous honors and awards, including Forbes 30 Under 30, CSQ 40 Under 40, and Inc. magazine's top 25 marketing influencers, and Best in Biz North America's Marketing Executive of the Year. A regular contributor to major publications like Forbes, Entrepreneur, and CSQ, Huberman is a well-known keynote speaker. I really appreciate you taking the time to really bless everybody on our networks, Mr. Huberman. As you won so many great awards, so the recognition is definitely there already. And you also have a podcast as well, if I'm not mistaken. Sure. What are some of your favorite guests that you've interviewed and on your podcast?
You're going to get me in trouble, all of them. Yeah, I mean, we honestly, it's kind of a list of, like, I wouldn't say my favorite people, but a lot of people I really admire. So, and people that I'm interested in, people that have had life stories. Barry Turner was a really big favorite of mine because it taught me a lot. The guy that created Lenny and Larry's, the protein cookie and muffin company, just a lot about how he thought through selling, et cetera. But there's so many good people, the Bill Hughes, Chris Birch, Keith Ferrazzi, Michael Loeb, Dan Price, Gary Vaynerchuk. Like, there's been a lot of really cool people on it. Yeah, it's been fun. Definitely.
And you've been able to actually, if I'm not mistaken, you've had Grant Cardone, or you are having him in the future?
Yeah, in the future. I think
definitely that's going to be
yeah, he's on Thursday.
Definitely, that's going to be a big show. What is a lesson that, say, I guess Gary Vaynerchuk instilled in you from when he was on the show that really stuck with you?
Well, I've known Gary a while. We do a bunch of business together. He, I'd say the couple of things, like what I learned about him and from him in the show that I didn't know before, is like the guy is constantly sprinkling investments in things he's coming in contact with and helping his platform launch other things. So his core business and his persona are great cash flowing businesses, but he's made most of his money in investing in Uber, Facebook, Twitter, helping start Redzi, like these big wins that aren't what he's known for, but is really where he made his money. And so that was a really cool highlight, is that like what he's known for is what gave him the ability to do all those deals, but where he made his money is not what he's known for.
Right. So in a way, what he was known for got him the investment capital, and then he used that money to invest in other income streams. Would you say a trait of the people and that you work with and may have had on your podcast is multiple income streams and investments, or is that something that, not everyone does.
Well, I think the idea of multiple income streams, people jump the gun on. So, like, you have to get a single income stream that's making you enough money to expand. Like, people will dabble in too many things thinking that's, like, what you're supposed to do. Because a lot of people take the playbook of successful people and what they're doing now is where they should start. Meaning, like, Gary Vaynerchuk now has a bunch of different income streams. He's got his investments. He's got VaynerMedia and VaynerX. He's got all those portfolio companies. He's got his speaking actually makes him a ton of money. And that's great. He didn't start doing all those things. He started with Wine Library, his parents' company, and it wasn't actually a great income stream for him. They paid him, I think, $60,000 a year because he's their son, and they're like, screw you. You don't get to make a lot of money off your family. You work for us because we raised you. So, but then he took that and started VaynerMedia and started doing marketing, and that became a place where he could actually make money. Then he took all of his money and he invested in companies he believed in, ended up with a ton of stock in Facebook and Twitter, which then he took some of that and was able to invest again. So it's like it was a slow build. It wasn't like where he is now. I think he's 46 years old. He's not all of a sudden like it wasn't just like overnight he started 100 revenue streams. It was like one after the other slowly. And I think that's the thing that people miss is like you have to have one good income stream before you have multiple. You need what's called your bread and butter, your core, income that services everything else. It doesn't have to be the thing that makes you the most money either. It's just the thing that covers your bills, that keeps you stable, that gives you a little capital invest so that you can start taking bigger swings.
Right, and it may not necessarily be the thing that you may love or may be doing for the rest of one life. For you,
I would say
how did
it depends. You're right. It doesn't have to necessarily be something you love for the rest of your life, but I would say it always helps to be something you love because it's going to take longer than you want it to. There's not a lot of get rich quick, so like you don't want to do something that you hate because there's going to be downtimes. There's going to be, especially if you're talking entrepreneurship, you're going to have times where you make no money. 2018 and 19, I barely made any money because I was reinvesting in the company and I made mistakes too. So you have to love what you do too so that you stick with it and don't just throw in the towel and be like, screw this, I hate this and I'm making no money, I'm out. So that's part of it too. You kind of have to love the game and the journey too.
Right, definitely. Do something that you won't feel like work every day. Is ideal. Right. But for you, did you start out doing something that you automatically loved, or how did you get into like what you're doing today?
So the answer is yes. I've always loved the journey. So like I have not worked like there's moments I don't love. There's periods I don't love, but I've always loved what I do. Now this is my fifth company. I've done a lot of different things. When I've realized I'm not going to love it, like I don't love it intrinsically, like I don't like the job I'm doing, I don't like the company, I'm done. I either fold it or leave or whatever, like or sell it or whatever it is, I get out. So that's something that I'm comfortable with too, but I've always kind of focused on things like because I've always been an entrepreneur, so I've always started things that I love. Like I wouldn't start a business I don't want to do. Exactly
right. That makes sense. As an entrepreneur and starting different businesses is definitely not always easy, especially when you have to get capital to start or different things. But how did you actually learn how to buy and sell businesses and all that? Did you go to school for it, or did you pick it up through mentors or your own studies? Because a lot of things aren't always taught in school.
Yeah, it wasn't school. It was definitely mentors and my wife and a few other people. That's what my wife does is she works in private equity, so a lot of how that game works. But I sold my last business before I met her. It was you learn from people around you. And honestly, you make mistakes. I sold a business for way less than I should have because I had no idea what I was doing, and it was enough money to get me to go screw it. And the person got a steal, but I was happy, so whatever. And now I know that situation. So like I learned from a lot of people along the way. And by doing, like you ask questions, you find people that have already done what you're trying to do, and you pick their brain and you hopefully offer them something too. And that's the way that I've kind of gotten through is when I see something coming down the pike that I'm trying to figure out and I can't quite either comprehend or pull from my own knowledge, I try to call someone that's already been through it that I trust. And so network becomes a huge thing too. So it's not really mentorship in the sense of like having a mentor that's taught me everything. It's more surrounding myself with people that know more about certain things than I do, so I can call them when I'm stuck with something.
Yes, while being of value or having something of value to provide to them, so it's not a needy.
And I would say like not to, yeah, but not to overthink that either. Like you do small favors for people, keep people in your network. Don't just take, but like I think people like do a little too much to try to think like, what can I do for you? And like there's usually some simple things you can do, but a lot of times I actually believe and have learned most people are good. Most people don't mind helping someone as long as that person actually takes the help and puts a lever on their time. So it's not actually about an ROI. So like when I am helping advise for someone, I love doing it. I'll take time. I'll answer questions. I'll keep in touch until I see that that person never listens to anything I say and they just keep, it's just literally a waste of my time because the person's not listening anyways. Then I'm done. Then it's not worth it. But until then, I have many people that they haven't done much for me. Maybe in the future they will. A lot of people are down to just give as long as that their time is leveraged for the person's benefit. It's when you realize the time you're giving, which is precious, is being wasted, then it's not cool.
Definitely. That makes a lot of sense. You said that your wife works in private equity, but as an entrepreneur and person that has started multiple businesses, what are some ways that you've either raised capital or have got money to invest into the business? Because I'm sure it could have always been from clients that you haven't had yet.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.
We bootstrapped. We never raised money for Hawke Media.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, definitely, I can hear that.
Yeah, we bootstrapped. We're about 200 people now, and we've done it all organically.
Oh, that's amazing. What are some of your favorite clients that you've had, or some of your favorite work with Hawke Media? What type of work do you do? Because I know it's advertising, marketing, and PR. But more specifically, what type of work do you do there?
Yeah, it's really acting as an outsourced CMO, meaning Chief Marketing Officer, and marketing team to companies. So we go into brands. It could be any type of brand, whether it's a lifestyle brand like a beauty or fashion company. We work with like law firms, insurance agencies. We work with software companies, all types of businesses, and we go in and identify what they're doing in marketing and what they're not doing, and put together a plan for them. Then we'll spin up different experts, all a la carte and month to month, so really nimble and flexible to just take over those aspects. Sometimes it's their whole marketing department because they don't have one. And a lot of times it's just like we're going to take over their Facebook ads or their email marketing or their web design or whatever it is. And then we ebb and flow and change as they need it. So it's really about that initial figuring out what they need and then being that company that can plug in, high-level experts to plug those needs. And our whole mission is accessibility to great marketing for everyone. We believed, and what started this company was, it's really hard for most companies to find great marketers. We want to make it easy. We want to make it really easy to get great marketers to work on your company so that isn't such a point of failure for so many brands.
Right. And this might be a dumb question, but what separates your company versus somebody going to like Indeed or Facebook to try to find, a CMO?
Yeah, so we're not full-time hires. We're not a recruiter. So a full-time CMO on average makes $250,000 a year. We charge $5,000 to $8,000 a month for a fractional CMO. So it's just a different offering. We're not here to replace a CMO. We're here to be a fractional offering to either plug a hole while they don't have the money to get one or they're not there yet, or to be an advisor to the CMO and actually bring our knowledge to an internal marketer. And sometimes we're also a bridge solution. Like they lost their head of marketing. They haven't found a new one yet. We plug in for now while they figure it out. There's a lot of reasons they need us, for periods of time.
Right. And it could be almost supplementary or complementary. It seems like you're saying.
Yeah. It's common.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's common we're working with a CMO.
That's awesome because so many people are afraid of losing jobs or whatnot. But then a lot of people may not know what they're doing as a marketing head at a company. And then, trying to find different talent to solve these issues. But it seems like you put everything in one place and together which is why you've been able to work with household names like Red Bull, Verizon Wireless, and Alibaba. Um, so it's safe to say that you're an international company and able to work with brands from global to, I guess, when we are in space.
Yeah, we work with people all over. So from everybody over the world, and sure, when they're on Mars, I'll probably want to work with them. But we have people in 24 different states around the country, and we're working on international expansion now. But so we service mostly brands wanting to come to the U.S. at this point. But our clients, we helped Alibaba expand to the U.S. We work with a lot of European companies. Like, we're working with companies all over.
Awesome. And I know you're a really busy man, so I don't want to take too much more of your time. But as far as your company and the different projects you're working on, like, what's next for you, and where do you see yourself in 5-10 years, as far as including thinking about the way the market is going in technology?
Yeah, I love what I do. It's been a really fun couple of months because we've had a lot of people interested in buying the company, which has let me think about, do I want to be done and sell it and retire, or do whatever that would mean, or want to stick with it. And I've decided on sticking with it. So I've learned that I really love what I do, and I'm always been focused on building a company that I love running. And I feel like we're in that place now, and we're doing a good job of building more and more of what I love to do. And so I think 5 to 10 years from now, I'm going to be running a global marketing business, and we have our venture fund where we invest in marketing technology. So you ask where things are going. We're constantly looking at new technologies to figure out, how does our business need to change, and what do we need to adapt to? And also, again, how do we own a piece of that technology that's going to change our business? So we invested in Postscript, which is one of the top SMS marketing tools, Jaguara, which is one of the top e-commerce business intelligence tools, Instramatic, which is voice and speech recognition software, or not recognition, sorry, voice and speech advertising software, where you can actually talk to an advertisement, like Minority Report style. Like, what a cool stuff that's coming out that we see. Yeah, we see the application, we see it working, and go, great, we're going to put some money and own a piece of it, and then help it get to market. And I think that's going to continue to be a big part of our business too. And we now have a financing arm where we saw a lot of our clients were limited by capital because they needed working capital. They put all their money in marketing and product and then have to wait. And now we can give them cheap financing to help them scale faster. So these are all things that, like, we're looking at, that we're constantly looking for the next thing. We're working on a government certification for marketers so that not anyone can just say, I'm a marketer, and be full of crap. We can actually regulate that. So there's all these things that we see are the big problems in the industry that we're continuing to attack in different ways, that 5-10 years from now, I think we'll be a powerhouse, and we'll have offices all over the world, and people, helping companies all over the world, continuing to stick to our mission of accessibility to great marketing, because we want to be cost effective and easy to work with, but also the best at what we do, while funding tons of businesses that also fulfill that mission, as well as helping brands as much as we can. And so I love that. I'm passionate about it. I don't see a point in my life where I won't want to be a part of that. So I think that's going to continue to grow. And let's say 5 years from now we'll be global. 10 years from now maybe we'll be interstellar. Who knows?
Definitely with everything Tesla's talking about, and a new app that that has actually brought us together to be able to talk on this podcast is Clubhouse. And I'm not sure if you're noticing some of the power of Clubhouse besides the drop-in audio podcast aspect. But it seems to me that if you have your speaker on and someone names a product, you might start seeing that product on your computer screen or even on your smart TV. I'm not sure if you've noticed this yet.
Yeah, that's there's audio monitoring is happening on all those things already, so definitely.
Right. Which is what I'm trying to connect the marketing aspect to it. If you have an influencer who's aware of this, or whatnot, they could kind of direct people towards a brand, not only within the app, but it seems like in real life. I'm not sure if Clubhouse is actually realizing this is a component that they can maybe try to monetize, but is this something that you feel it will become bigger, or is it going to grow, or not really?
Clubhouse has already stated they're not going to monetize through advertising. So I think there's going to be more tipping speakers and hosting, paid clubhouses where you have to actually pay to get in to hear someone talk. That's the kind of stuff they're leaning on, not advertising. They really want to avoid that business model. So I don't think it'll go there. There are other channels that will have that, and that's why we invested in a voice-activated advertising platform, is things like Alexa and Google Home and Portal and iHeartMedia's apps and Pandora. Those all can have a lot more progress when it comes to voice and speech and that kind of things. I don't think Clubhouse will get there. What's it called that Twitter just launched, their competitor to Clubhouse? That, I think, will end up being advertising-driven.
Oh, you don't happen to remember the name to that, do you?
Oh, I'm blanking on it.
I could probably but
yeah, I can't remember.
It's all good. It's all good,
Spaces.
But that's very
It's
interesting.
called Spaces.
Spaces?
Twitter Spaces. That's what it's, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Thank you for dropping some new knowledge on us. And again, I really appreciate your time and all the great things you do. You're definitely an inspiration to the youth and peers alike. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on my show. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. We'll talk soon.
Definitely. Hopefully we could work together in the future sometime. It'd be awesome, man. Thanks again. Have a great rest of your evening. Peace.
Thank you. You too. And sounds great. Bye.
Bye. And there you have it. We had the amazing Erik Huberman, founder and CEO of Hawke Media. You see all the amazing things in marketing that are coming about. That kind of stuff really, really excites me, man. I've loved marketing and social media and advertising ever since my beginning days using MySpace and AIM and, beginning of Facebook for promotions and marketing and connecting with brands and connecting people with events. So it's been an amazing thing. Amazing ride, and I really appreciate it because people say hip-hop saves your life, but marketing, hip-hop saved my life, music, and just making good choices. So, anything is possible if you make good choices and work towards your dreams and goals and are real with it. Not everyone out there has all, as you can see with Mr. Huberman, not everyone is, super connected or has all the money to do all this and that. But if you make certain sacrifices or make enough so that you don't have to make sacrifices, then, things can happen for you too. And, I may not be living in a mansion or have a $1 million company like Mr. Huberman, but from what I've done with what I've had and my piece of the market, I've been able to affect my life and others' lives, whether it be making sure others can feed their families, giving away things, and that's been something that I'll cherish because it didn't have to be that way. My parents could have just been like, you know what, I'm going to stay in Haiti on this island and whatever we can do here, we'll do here. But no, something in them made them do something, or family and friends, but we all know people don't have to change or do better. So if you have an opportunity to do better and change and grow and stuff like that, why not do it? We're not perfect. No one's asking someone to change the world, but if you can do with what you can with what you have and, you affect your own family in positive ways, then you automatically affect the world. So when you see your world is effed up or this or that, don't blame the world. Maybe there are some stuff about the world, but then again, look inside too, change inside. Because if we're coming to a time in present day history where the abusers and the users are not going to be able to do the things that they do anymore. And we as a person has to realize that we have to get better so that we can be part of the new positive world that is trying to do better and yearning or whatnot. Because the Most High God, as you've seen with COVID and different stuff, this is damn near a plague that's going on, and it doesn't seem like it's getting that much better. But I pray that it is, so we can get back to normal. Let me not digress, and I want to thank all our great listeners and people. Excuse me, and we have some great guests coming up in the future, and that's just how we do it. So thanks again. Peace and love, and I really appreciate Mr. Erik Huberman, CEO of Hawke Media, for coming on the show and dropping knowledge. And thank you, Blog Talk, for your amazing ways. But definitely gonna keep working to improve the platforms, working on video, and so we're gonna keep expanding. Just got a camera, gonna figure out how to plug it to the iMac and stream and this or that, and so that's just how we do. Thanks again, peace and love, and to everything. Just keep being good. Be good. Your man Vikens Moskova, podcast owner, Moskova Media, and check out my site, MoskovaEnterprises.com. There's nothing in comparison to Mr. Huberman, but I do my thing and I have my knowledge too. So giving thanks and praise to the Most High. Peace, everybody.